Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are we all? All right. Welcome to RJH weekly live stream, where tonight we are looking at CBT training returned due to popular demand. So popular demand, CBT training is tonight's topic. So if you're looking at getting on two wheels, whatever background you're looking at getting on two wheels, then this live stream is for you. So get asking away, questions after questions after questions. I will be going through the whole of the CBT. So, beautiful week it has been. Again, lovely weather, and congratulations to all of our tasters, CBTs, Module 1s and Module 2s. Had a busy week across all of our sites, and lots of new people starting their journey onto two wheels and completing their journey on two wheels. So lots of happy people this week. And a big well done to all of the instructors again who are working in extremely warm conditions. So well done to everybody, and long may it continue. So tonight's live stream, CBT training. Please do like the live stream. It does help. And also, please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It does help. And also, please do comment away, because the more comments we get, the better it is. And also set that reminder for the forthcoming live streams. Got more live streams planned. So, lots happening with the YouTube channel. Now, traditional competition is still in play, and if we can acquire 100 people watching the live stream at once, our record is 62, but if we can get 100, then I am going to throw a free CBT into the ring, and we will be asking a simple question, and the first correct answer will win that free CBT worth £199 and can be used within 6 months across all our 3 schools, Manchester, Wigan or Northwich. So great competition, £200 on offer. Could be that first taste of life on two wheels for somebody. Give it to somebody as a voucher if you so wish. So yeah, that's all of that out the way. So yeah, busy week, lots of happy people coming through the school. So who have we got? Now, the weather outside is beautiful again today. It's a Friday night, so I'm sure people will be trying to get into a pub garden or maybe barbecues in the garden. But anyway, we're continuing weekly with the live streams, so we really do appreciate everybody joining us. CBT then. CBT, that is tonight's topic. So, who have we got then? Hooley, evening. Hooley, Fortune, Andy, good evening. And that's a new one. Gandhi PMSL 84. Hello, good evening. I don't think we've seen you on the channel before. So where are you from, mate? Just starting your journey. Darren, good evening. And Dave, good evening. A busy week, and Friday is the start of a busier week. We have our grand opening day tomorrow at Wigan. So the official opening day tomorrow of RJH Wigan. That's tomorrow, and also our belated 18th birthday. So combining that, so hopefully we'll see some familiar faces and some new faces in Wigan tomorrow. So that's something exciting going on. Good evening, Wayne. First time for you, so welcome to the channel. Please do like the video, Wayne, and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. We do have a weekly live stream, and if you go back through the playlist of the live streams, we've covered CBTs before, we've covered Module 1, we've covered Module 2, we've covered instructor training, so there's some really good content on the live streams, as well as many playlists of CBTs all broken down and so on. So please do like the video, comment away, and subscribe to the channel, please. Cumbria. And BMSL Cumbria, nice part of the world. Milton Keynes raining, is it? Raining in Milton Keynes. Yeah, we had a little bit of rain yesterday here, but it's all good. It's nice and warm, too warm at times, but nice and warm. Okay, when you're moving, but when you're not moving, whoo-wee. So, CBT. Anybody that's thinking of getting onto two wheels, you have to do a CBT. So whether you're 16 or whether you're 60, you have to do a CBT. Now, there is one exception. Good evening, Lisa. Yeah, you're late. You're excused. That's fine. Not a problem. Don't need to apologize. Paul Subden, theory test and CBT passed last Thursday. I'm hooked on two wheels now. Can't wait to start my big bike training. Good for you, Paul. As we say, lots of live streams on all the subjects on the channel. So CBT then. Who doesn't have to do a CBT? Anybody? Who does not have to do a CBT? There's an open question. Or does everybody have to do a CBT? So if you pass your full car test before February the 1st, 2001, so your car test before February the 1st, 2001, you can ride a 50cc without a CBT. But anything bigger, you need to do a CBT. Which means that if anybody more recent has passed their car test, they can do a CBT and they can ride a 50cc on the car license, a 50cc without L plates, and they can take a passenger pre. Yeah, well done, car license holder with 50cc. Yes, Darren, well done. Yep, so that is the thing. Anything, everybody else has to do the CBT. CBT, so anybody, it's the first step to get onto two wheels. Mind you, we do get a lot of people, we get a lot of trainees now that come and do a taster session. So they do a taster session before a CBT, because if they've not ridden a bike, a CBT can be quite a challenge for some people. So they actually do a taster session first, see if they like it, and then book the CBT. So we're getting a lot of that now. People having an hour taster just gets them going. And so that does work out very, very well. So taster before a CBT, if you've not ever ridden, can benefit you. So CBT, everybody got to do it. Yep. We conduct CBT 7 days a week, so it's all good for us. Now, what else we got on there? That's good. So we've got quite a few people watching there, commenting away. Well done. So CBT then. When was the CBT introduced, and why was it introduced? Bit of history about the CBT then. Compulsory basic training. It's not a test, it's a course of safety. It was introduced in December December 1990. So the 1st of December 1990, the CBT was introduced. Okay. Prior to that, so why was the CBT introduced? Because back in the 80s, 17-year-old could ride up to 250 on a provisional license. So all sorts of things going on, accidents and so on. So the government brought out the CBT, and the CBT was introduced on the 1st of December 1990. What has happened then since that CBT was introduced? And that is that accidents have been reduced by between 50 and 70%. Yep, that's it, Dave. Yep, so accidents have been reduced by between 50 and 70%, which is absolutely speaks for itself, doesn't it? It does speak for itself. And, you know, I had one of my best mates 2 weeks after his 17th birthday killed underneath the wagon on his Honda CB250, 2 weeks after his 17th birthday. And that was on a provisional. So that was the sort of thing that was happening up and down the country. So good statistics from the CBT. If you can hear a dog in the background, that's my dog, who's blooming noisy. So CBT then, that's when it came out. That's what's happened since it came out. 3 really important aims then of the CBT, and that is that it will validate your provisional entitlement on your license, so that'll enable you to ride what you want to ride. It will, at completing it, you'll be able to contribute to a reduction in accidents, so contribute to maintaining that reduction in accidents. And another very important aim is that, well, you know, on completion of the CBT, you get your certificate. So you get your certificate. It's a DL196, and it is, something that you can keep at home. Don't carry it on you. Keep it in the drawer at home. It lasts you for 2 years. And if you lose it, you'll only get a copy from the ATB, authorised training body. That's who's issue it. You'll only get a copy from them. So keep it somewhere safe at home. All right. Don't need to be carrying it around with you. And if you do lose it, there will be generally a charge because ATBs have to buy the books. So don't think that you're going to go and get a copy of it for nothing. You will need to pay. So CBT, compulsory basic training, not a test, course of safety. So we know when it was introduced, and we know why it was introduced, and we know what's happened since it was introduced. So that's all good, isn't it? What about then what's involved? And I suppose that's what we're going to go through in detail. So anybody that is thinking of doing CBT, this live stream is for you. And it is for you. And what I've started doing is sort of linking in videos underneath in description, which are related to the content of the live stream. So if you look at the last one I did on module 2, there's quite a few listed videos that we've done underneath, so you can link just quick reference that I've discussed in the live stream. So that helps. What's that then? I have an odd question in regards to doing a CBT. I've done some Googling and haven't found much info, but I feel like you're the man to ask. Try me. Try me. Mr. Smith, that is how many elements are there? 5, not 6, unless you've got a little, have you got a 6 finger, Dave? There's 5 elements to the CBT, and that is A, B, C, D, and E. Good evening, Sylvia. So Sylvia, she's joining us. I've booked my CBT with you guys at Northwich next Sunday. What documents do I have to take? Martin, I think somebody's tried to call you on your telephone number, mate, because we don't do CBTs on a Sunday in Northwich. And did you book it through yesterday? Martin, I'll book CBT book on Northwich next Sunday. Yeah, we don't do CBTs on a Sunday in Northwich, but we can change it to any other day. Give Charlie a ring, because you know he's been trying to contact you today. Documents that you need to take. Well, listening to this live stream, because I will be going through all of that. Are there any weight restrictions regarding the rider on a 125? No. But you, if you're a bigger sort of person, then you maybe not want to ride a little Honda Grom. So find out what bikes the schools are using for CBT. That might make you decide whether you go to that school or not. So, but no, there's no weight restriction. Jason Morley, don't worry, you're not hijacking the stream, mate. Yeah, I was doing a stream on the top 10 first big bikes. I've rescheduled that one for next Friday. Just need to do a little bit more homework. Live stream on what is the best bike to get after passing your A1. Well, your A1 is your 125. Is that what you're thinking? So any 125s, or are you thinking for your category A? We're thinking about a new Z650. We need to do category A. A is your DAS. A1 is for a 125, 17 to 19. A2 is 19 to 24. Glad the videos help. Ian, sorry I was late. Fortune, 5 elements of CBT. You should know, Andy, because you've only just done yours. Rob, you look like you're a rock star. Have I got a guitar? No, I've not got any musical things in here. Any recommendations of what the maximum weight capacity would be? Well, I don't think there is one. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. But you need to be sensible. When are you quite heavy? Is that the thing? Category Jason Morley, A. Yes, A is your direct access. Oh, bother. Yeah, just give Charlie a ring, Martin, because he'll reschedule. But yeah, no Sundays available in Northwich. We had complaints from the neighbours, and we don't want to upset the local neighbours. So we sort of negotiated that we won't train there on a Sunday, but any other day of the week, not a problem. Hi, what autos do you use for a CBT, Debbie? We use Piaggio, Yamahas, and we use the new little e-scooters. Honda Grom, fun to ride. They are fun to ride. So then, where were we? A lot of questions coming through there, which is good. So where were we? CBT, we know what it is. We know where it came from, when it was introduced. We know what's happened since it was introduced. And we know what is involved. We're going to go through that now. And I'm a bigger guy and fit fine on my Yamaha MT125, no problem. So CBT then, you book your CBT, and one thing I would always say to everybody before you get to your CBT is preparation, organization, and punctuality. I'd say there are 3 really important things. Be organized, be prepared, and be punctual. You know, we get people turning up 45 minutes late and wonder why they can't get into the course, because the elements, there's 5 of them, and it's very structured. And once you start, you can't go back, and it's not fair on the instructor, it's not fair on the other pupils. So those 3 things: get there on time, be punctual, make sure you're organized with all your documents, and make sure that you're well prepared. I've had guys over 20 stone on CBTs, if that's any help. Way over 20 stone, I think mid-20s. Yeah, I mean, they do swamp the bike, but, you know, it's... You know, it's if you're in any doubt, what I'd say is get down to your local bike school and see what they say to you. go and have a sit on a bike and see if it fits. That's what I'd recommend. But we get people of all sizes. Yeah, so what I've had people mid-20s on CBTs. In fact, there's a little story many years ago. We used to train out at Congleton, and we used to we're down in a little valley down Dane, alongside the River Dane. And the old 50cc scooters that we used to use many times back in the early days, the lad have to get off. Big lad would have to get off the scooter and push it up the hill, because when he's on the scooter, it wouldn't ride up the hill. No, it wouldn't ride up to the hill. So, but anyway, no, we do train all sized people. So CBT. Day of your CBT, yeah, get there on time. Don't forget all your documents and wear appropriate clothing. Now, we provide everything, but we don't provide footwear. Check with your school again. But we do like ankle protection where possible. Certainly on a geared bike, we want ankle protection. We don't want flip-flops, canvas little shoes. Be sensible. And we want denim jeans as a minimum. Don't turn up in tracksuit bottoms and stuff like that. You're coming in, potentially you've never ever ridden, and you want to learn to ride a motorbike or a moped. You're not going to get on that bike in tracky bottoms. You'll be turned away. So be sensible. Those are the three things. Be punctual, be organized, and get there and be sensible. First, I suppose, really, good evening, Chief. So we've got Sylvia, the sergeant. We've got Graham, the chief, with us tonight. Who's seen the video I put on this afternoon of the chief taking delivery of his nice little Honda CB 500X, courtesy of RJH Motorbike Training, for his 10 years service? And I'm going to possibly get Sylvia tomorrow, because Sylvia's got a bike. She's done 10 years with us. I'm going to get Sylvia tomorrow. Good evening, Jack. Your new name on here, mate. So any new viewers on here tonight? It's all about CBT training. Do please like the video. Yeah, we've got a lot more people watching tonight than liked. So any of you that are watching, please do like this video. It does help more people jump on. Spreads the word. And what I want to see as well, if possible, 100 viewers, and get that free CBT out there. So any of you new people, subscribe to the channel, please. Please do subscribe. It really does help us, come back on a regular basis. And at the moment, we are here every week on a live stream. And some of you might not know who we are. We're probably one of the biggest bike schools, if not the biggest bike school in the northwest of England. We've got 3 schools. We've got a fleet of bikes just shy now of 40. And we've got about 10 of us teaching behind the scenes. We've got a booking office, which is developing. So, we know what we're doing. There's a lot of experience on here. So do get that likes, get the videos liked, get those, get more and more people watching. Blumenau, good evening, Divisional Assistant Chief Officer. Who's that? Is that Mr. Cook? CBF 125, yep, nice bikes, Honda, can't go wrong. Yeah, so yeah, we've got a good following. I actually got a chat, I think I might have said on the last live feed, we've got a lad that's coming over from Stockton-on-Tees. He stays in a hotel. That's good going, isn't it? Stockton-on-Tees to Manchester. So that's good going. Yeah, so first thing then, you arrive at your CBT, nice and punctual, remember. And first thing you do is have the license check. So I suppose your instructor's going to have a look at your license. Oscar's from London with us today. Yeah, passes mod 2. Oscar. Check your license, make sure everything's in order there. We like to see the driver record. That's just policy of our school. And eyesight check. So you get an eyesight check as well. 20.5 meters. So you get your license check, eyesight check, and then your instructor will have a look at what you're wearing, I suppose, and make sure your footwear, I suppose. Most schools are pretty similar, but check with your school. They might provide footwear. I don't know of any schools. And then I suppose it's into the classrooms. Get started. Let it join in. You do a CBT on a 50cc scooter, or you can do your CBT on a 125cc. Depends. I mean, I've had, while we're on that subject, Wayne, I've had people do the CBT on a 650 if they're on DAS, but I can't mix them with anybody that couldn't do DAS. So if I got somebody on a 650, they're with a group of over 24s. But yeah, it's not against the rules. What is against the rules is doing somebody on a CBT on a 650 if you got somebody that's, say, like a 16-year-old on a scooter. But yeah, I've had it occasionally over the years. People will do a CBT on a 650. Yeah. But the general rule is 16-year-old a 50 and 17-year-old a 125. Are you booked in then, Wayne? Where are you from, mate? Yeah, so CBT then, the classroom stuff, I suppose. So what's the first thing then? Formalities. The instructor will introduce himself, give you a bit of an history about them. I suppose that's a polite thing to do. Ask you what your experience and everything is, because then they can pitch the level instructions at your ability. We don't teach your grandma to suck eggs. We do try and pitch the level of instruction at your ability. So element A is the first thing. Oh wait, we get you to sign our disclaimers and stuff as well. But element A is the first thing that we get you to do, which is officially called the introduction. It's officially called the introduction. This is where you get a talk on, I suppose you're going to get a talk on safety helmets. You're going to get a talk on clothing and safety helmet, clothing. That's your jacket, your trousers, your gloves, and your boots. So you get that bit of an introduction where you go into a bit more detail about the day. So think of element A as 3 parts: introduction, helmets, jacket, trousers, gloves, and boots, clothing and equipment. So Warrington, yes, you booked in July. Fantastic, Wayne. We will look after you. There is no doubt about that. So element A, the introduction, is where you're talking about then what the CBT is, where the CBT came from, why you do it, what's happened since your introduction, and then how the course is going to go. So the course is going to go, element A, talk about helmets, all the clothing. Then you're going to go out to the training yard, and that's where you're going to do your element B. Now, the official title for your element B we'll get there in a minute, is practical on-site training. So practical on-site training. You're going to become familiar with the motorcycle controls and how they work. You're going to be able to carry out basic machine checks and take the machine off the stands. You're going to be wheeling the machine around to the left and the right, showing proper balance, and use the brake to bring the machine to the halt. And that will be the front brake. And finally, element B, you'll be able to start, the pupil must be able to start and stop the machine satisfactorily. So that's element B. Element C is the practical on-site riding. You must be able to ride the machine under control in a straight line and bring it to a halt using the brakes and in the control position. You must be able to ride the machine slowly and in a straight line. You must be able to understand how to use the brakes. You must be able to change gears satisfactorily. You must be able to ride the machine around in a figure of 8. You must be able to bring the machine to a stop under full control as in an emergency. You must be able to understand and demonstrate how to carry out rear observations correctly. And you must be able to carry out simulated left and right turns using the OSM PSL routine. And you must be able to carry out or complete a U-turn. So that's element C. That's quite a juicy one, isn't it? Element D is practical on-road training. So this is sort of pre-road talk. Two-way discussion. Legal requirements, the need to understand the highway code. Why are motorcyclists more vulnerable? Conspicuity, the need to be clearly visible. Why you should pay attention to varying road conditions. Why you should pay attention to varying weather conditions. Need to ride according to the existing road and traffic conditions. Anticipating of other road users. Hazard perception, your attitude, the need to carry out rear observations, the need to adopt the correct road position in the road, understanding the importance of following at a safe distance, and a topic on riding under influence of drink and drugs. That's all in element D. And element E is practical on-road training, where you'll be looking at on the road safe, but you'll be covering traffic lights, pedestrian crossings, roundabouts, junctions, bends, obstructions, gradients. You'll also do a U-turn, and you will also do an emergency stop on the roads. So 5 elements, A, B, C, D, and E. So let's have a look. We'll go back to element A, and we'll just go into a little bit more detail going through. Remember, with your CBT, there is no time limit to it. There's no time limit to it. It might take a few days. It might take a few visits. But a lot of people think, they rock up at 8 o'clock. Our CBT start at 8. Rock up at 8 o'clock and they're going to get the certificate at the end of the day. Well, that's what we want to do. We want to give you a certificate, but not everybody can get the certificate for a whole host of reasons. And obviously, if you have to come back on a different day, then you have to pay, because your instructors are not going to come in free of charge. So I'm 35. I'm going to be doing my DAS, but not sure what bike I may get placed onto. I'm really tall. Well, we have different size bikes. What have we got? We've got Honda 650s. We've got Kawasaki 650s. We've got Suzuki 650s. So, we have a range of bikes for all people. How much is it to do A1, and how long after your CBT can you take your A1? As soon as you want A1. Is that a 125cc, Paddy, or are you talking about category A? But yes, the route is CBT theory in any order, module 1, module 2. It will be a 650. You should be fine. I'm 5'6" and had to have a lower seat. Yeah, we'd have lowered bikes. You need to do a theory test after CBT to do A1 test. Yeah, well done. Lisa, book theory online. Paddy via direct website is £23. 125. Paddy, 125cc. Thank you. I'm 6'4". Just wanted to know. Thank you. And Defo wanting to ride a Honda. Fantastic bikes, Hondas. So where are you, I-20? Where are you in the country? Lots of Honda dealerships. I can recommend a couple. We use a couple. So whereabouts are you in the country? Remind me. So how's everybody doing then? What's that? 35 minutes in. We've got 24 people watching, 18 likes. So we've got more people watching. You're near Eccles. So pop yourself over to Hunts in Burnage is your nearest Honda. Go and see Hunts on the A34 Kingsway in Burnage, or pop over to Honda Northwest Supercentre in Blackpool. When is a good to call Charlie? If you text Charlie now, Martin, he will get back to you. Give him a text and he will get back to you. Yeah, so I know he has been trying to contact you, and the number that you've submitted on your online order has been hasn't been doing anything. Do you need a provisional bike license or a full car license? A full car license should give you your category A on the provisional. So yeah, you've already got it. You don't need to apply for another license. 25 people watching, 19 people liked. So let's get those likes up to match the amount of people that are watching, please, if you don't mind. It really does help. It really does help. So going back to the competition still, if we can get 100 people watching the live stream at once, we will give away a free CBT. The record was 62, but you know, that might take a bit of doing, but it is growing. The audience is continuing to grow. Checked into the live stream a few weeks ago and passed my CBT since then. Fantastic. Hope the videos helped. Hope the live streams helped. And all the comments, there's a lot of people here with lots of different bits of experience that you can extract and use. As I am, we're all learning all the time. I know you supply most of the gear, but is it worth getting my own gear prior to coming for my CBT? Yeah, I mean, people have mixed views. We always say, well, come and do your CBT, and then you might have a better idea what you want to go and buy. We provide the basics. And also, if you're training with us, Wayne, if you go to J&S in Northwich, tell them that you're training with us, Adrian, he will look after you. He'll give you a good deal because you're training with us. We've got a bike school at J&S in Northwich as well. Go and see Adrian in the bike show. You will not get a better selection of clothing and gear and helmets than J&S in Northwich. It's a fantastic place. We don't recommend trainers, Paddy. We recommend ankle protection. We recommend ankle protection. Get yourself a pair of walking boots or something like that. Absolutely, Jason. If you want to ask away, mate, I'm going to go through all the CBT, but I'm not going to be able to get everything in. So any questions, if I don't answer it, there's lots of help there. But yeah, you get asking away. So I suppose when you then, so that's a bit of an idea about what's involved in the Element A, and then it'll be going on to the helmets and stuff. And one of the first questions that we always ask people on the helmets is, right then, who doesn't have to wear a helmet? Who doesn't have to wear a helmet? Well, Paddy, you're going to struggle. I would say on a geared bike, you probably won't get. I would say on a geared bike, you won't get on there. We're getting a bit stricter with it now as well. So Graham, the centre manager in Eccles, Sylvia, the centre manager in Northwich, will answer that. If you wear trainers, will you still be able to do your CBT? And if you're on a scooter, I think so. But on a geared bike, I think you'd struggle. Yes, Wayne, Sikhs do not A male Sikh does not have to wear a helmet on the roads, but everybody else does. So who knows what materials the helmets come in? 3 materials, 3 styles, 3 types of fastening. So who knows what they are then? Well, the likes have jumped up. 22 likes, 22 people watching. So what are the 3 materials of helmets then, ladies and gents? And what's the 3 styles of the helmets? And what's the 3 fastenings of the helmets? So I'll wait there for those answers to come through. It needs to be approved. So ECE 2205 or the British Standard Kite Mark that was, but they will be quite old now. They might come back in now we're out of Brexit, but you want the ECE 2205 stamp on the back. If it has a gold badge, that's the Autocycle Union, British Motorcycle Sport. That doesn't mean anything for the roads. That's for track days. So it's a good helmet if you get one of that. No, Graham, you can't answer because you're cheating. We don't want any cheating. So what you can answer though, Graham, is if you have somebody, there's a lad further up there, he wants to know, Paddy, if he turns up in trainers, can he do a CBT with you? So make sure it's approved. The 2 things that make that helmet legal, it needs to be approved, needs a badge on, but it needs also to be fastened when you're wearing it. Those are the 2 things that make it legal: fastening and the badge. So we've not got any answers about the materials. So materials, we've got polycarbonate, we've got fiberglass, and we've got tri-composite. Paddy, not on a geared bike, you need sturdy footwear. What motorbike do I ride? I am currently riding a Honda CBF 1000 GT. That's my bike. Hi everyone, get the magazine, Get Into Biking. It's the mag for learners and everywhere. Where do you get that from, Carl? Is it... we've got some giveaway magazines at the school. I found a great place to get a helmet in Manchester, very supportive. Is that J&S? J&S Accessories have got the best selection of helmets that you can find. It's like a kid in a toy shop, honestly. You would not be disappointed. Yeah, so you got plastic, fiberglass, tri-composite, plastic entry, fiberglass mid, tri-composite top range. Buy the best you can afford. So there's a material. Styles, you've got open front, flip front, full face. Pros and cons, there are there. So you can go through all that on your CBT, pros and cons. Got to fit you snug. They'll go through how they fit. They'll go through what happens if you drop them, replace them. They'll go through many things. It's My Moto, don't know where that is. Is that the one in Farnworth? My Moto. Yeah, so helmet is probably the most important piece of kit you're going to invest in. Buy the best you can afford. It's the only legal requirement you need to wear. Make sure it's fastened. Make sure it's approved. Buy the best you can afford. Make sure it fits correctly. Make sure you know how to clean it. If you drop it, replace it. Always buy one from a shop. Can I wear steel toe caps? Well, I think you know the answer to that, Paddy. Yeah, I think you know the answer to that. Steel toe caps are great in the warehouse, but not on a motorbike. So helmets, what about visors then? Visors, do you have to wear a visor on your helmet? No, it's not a legal requirement. Would you wear a helmet without a visor? Would you drive a car without a windscreen? No. So make sure you have a visor. Make sure it's clean. Make sure it's scratch-free. Tinted visors, nighttime, no. Tinted visors, daytime only. So no riding in a tinted visor at night. What happens if I drop the bike on the day of CBT? We'll have to pay for damage. Had a biker go off-road on my DAS. Yeah, well, it happens. I'm not saying it's a regular thing, but it does happen. Every school's different. So we don't tend to charge for brake levers and things like that if they go. But yeah, check with the school, because yeah, I mean, the damage has got to be paid by somebody. It just depends on the policy of that school. I swear it can be tinted a bit. No, anything tinted nighttime, you're going to get into trouble. So make sure you know the rules and regulations. What sorted, Martin? Good man. Well done. And thanks for joining the live stream, Martin. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and set the reminders for next week's. If something runs over your foot, Paddy, you will outrun. You know it. The visor saves your eyes if a fly hits you. That does. Yeah, you need eye protection, that's for sure. Important thing with your visors, make sure they're clean, make sure they're crack-free. If they get scratched in the rain, it's going to impair your visibility. And I think instructors generally, when you're on the roads every day, you're getting that visor cleaned every day because of the daily grime in the film. What about colour of helmet then? What colour helmet do you think is going to be the one to go for? Would you go for a bright one or would you go for a dark one? Green. Yeah, green's a popular. White, bright colours. Yeah, so mine, yeah, I wear white. I've got a fluorescent one as well. Graham, yeah, pink. Certainly stand out. Bright, brighter the better, be visible. Okay, so let's move on from helmets then. That's the only legal requirement. So you could actually, I mean, if you look at Graham, there's a picture on a live stream a few weeks ago. Graham, he's got his green mankini on. Now, if you've not had your tea, don't eat your tea before you see the picture, because you're going to have a fright. So make sure you go and have a look at the picture of Graham in his green mankini now. After you, yeah, don't let it put you off your tea. So I've had road experience before in a car, but any advice for nurse before a CBT? Don't be. It's normal. My advice to you, everyday cloaker. It's another good name, isn't it? Are you new on tonight, mate? Subscribe to the channel and watch back all these live streams, CBTs. There's lots of CBT videos on here. Nerves are normal. But once you meet your instructor, once you're on the bike, the first 5 minutes or so, your nerves will go. Enjoy the day. Paddy, I've got a fantastic video on roundabouts, mini roundabouts, and a fantastic video on roundabouts. And it really just peels the layers back and goes back to the beginning. It's a fantastic video. So I'm going to make a note. And I'm going to put some of these videos in the links below. How does that sound? In the description below. So, but roundabouts. If I make a little note, and then when I get 5 minutes, I'll be putting my links to these in the description below. You've been watching them, good man. So if you've been watching them, put it into practice, you'll be fine, honestly. You can light yourself up like Blackpool and you still be ignored and correct. Yeah. Yeah, but, you know, give yourself a fighting chance, eh? Laughing dog, I worry about roundabouts too. Get on that videos, watch those videos. Nothing to be worried about. Your instructor is not after test standard. Your instructor is after you learning. So show that you're learning and you'll be fine. Show that you're safe and you'll be fine. CBT lasts for 2 years. Do you give discounts on taking CBT with you again after 2 years? Yes. So we do. If you're using your own bike, renewing, we have a standard reduced price for the CBT. Yeah. Most schools will. Right, so clothing, whilst it's not a legal requirement, but there is clothing. So jacket, trousers, gloves and boots. You'll have an open discussion generally on the materials, textile, leather, and the pros and cons. And you'll generally have a discussion on three aims of the clothing: protection, warm, dry. And what's going to happen if you're not protected? What's going to happen if you're not warm? What's going to happen if you're not dry? And the effects. So textile and leather, jacket, trousers, gloves, boots, protection, warm and dry. So a good two-way open discussion about that. You may have a little discussion on ear plugs and also a bit of a discussion on substitutes. You know, what if you're on a budget? What if you're on a budget and, you know, what do you do? So get on eBay or something. Helmet, always buy that new. But I've got some good gear off eBay, nearly new. Some just, you know, worn it once or twice, don't fit them or they've given up. Yeah, there's nothing, get some good bargains. But you really do need to take that all quite, you know, you need to give it consideration. It is important. So jacket, trousers, gloves, boots, helmets, materials, the pros and cons, and what are the effects of what's going to happen if. So it's that sort of thing. And that is element A. And that's even before you go on to element B. All right. So, you know, if you want to, you know, if you've got a budget, you've got £1,000, you want to go and buy some gear. Yeah, wait until you do the CBT. You'll have a better idea of what you want to go and buy. Or go into the bike shop and speak to the lads that sell it all. They'll give you their honest opinion. And as I say, you know, J&S over in Northwich is probably, well, I don't know of anywhere that has a selection as big. So J&S in Northwich, what a selection of stuff. Get yourself over there. If you look at them and they are not looking at you, then they haven't seen you yet. Your concentration before cold, definitely. Best motorbike for around £1,000. Japanese. Second-hand, £1,000 Japanese. You need some protection, Paddy. If you're out 20 more, it will hurt. Then it broke 6 ribs. Yep. Paddy, counter steering will come naturally when driving a motorbike. Trust. Yep, counter steering. I got new textile jacket and trousers, gloves and boots off eBay for about 190 quid. Yeah, you can pick up some bargains. Had a young look at me on the roundabout, made eye contact, still pat. Yeah, thing is, they look at you. They don't know how to deal with you. They don't know how fast you're going. But that's all part of biking, is being defensive. Yeah, you've spotted him. You know he's spotted you. And you know he's spotted you, but he's not going to do anything about it. So that's where your experience comes in. And just let them get on with it. Look after yourself. £200, good price for a lid. Yeah, you don't have to go out and spend £1,000. So £200 would be a good price for a lid, most definitely. Because lids, you know, you can go into a shop and get last season's colorway or whatever. But yeah, you can generally get one from last season as a good price. Right, so let's move on then. Element B. So this is where you're going to go out to the bikes and you're going to be able to look at the bike and familiarize yourself with the bike. Now, this again is pitched at your level. So if you've ridden before, it'll be lots of questions. Or if you're new to it, that's covered. We will explain everything to you so that you have a better understanding. Did you hit the video? So, you know, you're looking at things like the front brake. What is that? So that is a front brake, okay? What's it for? It's for slowing down and stopping. How do you use it? As many fingers as you can reach with. Progressively, gently at first, squeezing it. Where don't you use it? You don't use it on a bend. What would happen? So it's what it is, what you do with it, what you don't do with it, and how you do it. So it's a sort of lots of questions on a specific, and you go around the whole bike, gears, brakes, indicators, whatever. So familiarizing yourself with all of the controls of the bike is element B. Also daily and weekly checks. Now we use Best Cops BESTCOPS. So it's daily checks, things that you would be checking on a daily basis, and weekly checks, what you'd be checking on a weekly basis and why. So is brakes on right, gears on left? Absolutely correct. I-20, yes. Back on, I was halfway around the roundabout and he just coasted towards me and slammed on. Yeah, so it's bike familiarization, all the controls, and it's daily and weekly checks. So what things you would be looking at daily, what things you would be looking at weekly to keep your bike in a relatively good condition, safe condition. Roadworthy condition is important. So, and you know, because it's an investment as well. It is an investment. So chain would be weekly. Yeah, well, you'd look at it daily for any lubrication, but maybe weekly you'd go into more detail. Maybe you'll clean it and lubricate it. You check the tension of the chain weekly. So there are certain things you would be looking at weekly. There's certainly things that you're going to be looking at daily. Okay, so you go through all that. Also on the CBT Element B, you're then going to be looking at the stands. So you need to be looking at center stand, on and off, and side stand. So you have a good go through that, demonstrations and stuff. Dave Smith, lights, brakes, tires, daily oil, coolant, fuel weekly. Yeah, good. Everybody's got their own little ways. We use best cops, brakes, electrics, steering, tires, chain, oil, petrol, suspension. Once you've mastered the stands, the center and the side stand, you would then be wheeling the bike around to the left and right, showing proper balance. And that'd be probably the first, or might be the first, opportunity for you to be using the front brake. Remembering that front brake is a very powerful brake, and it is not to be slammed on. You know, use it progressively. So what I will be doing is going through the live stream afterwards, and I'm going to be, so when we get talking about a certain exercise, I'm going to link in the videos. We've got most things on a video. So most things, like wheeling it around, like when you get on the bike and doing all the exercise, we've got most of them filmed. So I'll put the links in below, and I'm hoping that will help you. I think it should help you. Once you've wheeled the bike around to the left and the right, then you're going to be having to sit on the bike. And then you're going to be shown how to start the bike and stop the bike. And we use an acronym called FIGS or PIGS. So FIGS or PIGS. Can anybody answer what that is then? FIGS or PIGS? Anybody got any ideas? FIGS or PIGS? What is it? Figs or pigs? I would suspect that Dave Smith or Darren S will come up with the answer. What is the acronym FIGS or PIGS used for? Have they disappeared, or are they going to reply? Figs or pigs? Anybody tell me what they are? Figs or pigs? Gone a bit quiet. Where have they gone? No, you don't know, Laughing Dog. No, Dave Smith should know, or Darren S. But maybe they've gone for a brew. So figs Oh, he's thinking. Got him thinking. So this is after you've wheeled it around and you get on the bike, and this is what we show you, how we show you to do before you start the bike. I think you're right. Well, FIGS is fuel, ignition, gears, and start. PIGS is petrol, ignition, gears, and start. And that's the acronym we use before we actually press that start button. Make sure the fuel's on, make sure that it's in ignition is on, make sure the gear is in neutral, start the bike. FIGS or PIGS. So once that's been successfully completed, you're then going to move on to Element C. Now, really, this should have took now 45 minutes as a guide, 45 minutes for Element A, 45 minutes for Element B. So if you're starting your CBT at 8 o'clock, with us you are, we like to get you on the bike by half past 9, quarter to 10. We want you onto the bike. It's quite a lot there, isn't there, on A and B. Element C then, this is where you're on the bike and you're going to be doing the various different exercises in a very safe way. Do you not use a geared bike, Dave? Are you on a scooter? I thought you were on a geared bike. Okay, Jason, you don't fail a CBT. It's a course of safety. It's not a test. Different schools have different ways they operate it. But we have a few different cut-off points to try and offer the best service. But ultimately, if you stay in all day and you go out on the road, you know, if you go on the road, you're not safe, or if you don't go on the road, you have to come. You can come back. You have to pay again. So either another CBT or the hours, just depends. Check with your school what the policy is there. Yeah, you don't fail though. If you're unfit to ride on the road, you just need to do a bit more training. So we just get you to a completion level. We don't call it a pass and we don't call it a fail. Correct. Yeah. I'm on a J125 Kawasaki. Nice bike then, Dave. A big bike. They're a big bike. So Element C then. Let's have a look at Element C, which is when getting on the bike. So the first thing you're going to be doing, the objective of the first exercise is you must be able to ride the machine under control in a straight line and bring it to a halt using brakes and in the control position. Now, I mentioned that different schools do different things. We have different cut-off points. And our first cut-off point is going to be 10:30. So if we get to 10:30 on your CBT with ourselves, then we offer you, if you haven't completed moving off and stopping safely, and you need a taster really, but by 10:30, we will offer you the choice that you go away, book a taster session in, and you then are invited to come back. Your CBT is safe. You do not pay for another CBT. So basically, all you're doing with your CBT is just carrying it over because you're not ready. Now, we can keep you on the yard until 1 o'clock knowing you're not going to get through, and then you'll have to pay for another CBT. So our first cut-off point is 10:30. And if we feel that you're not going to get through your CBT, then we'll keep it safe. You don't lose it, but you need to come back and do a taster session and then do your CBT. And that is a very, very good service. So that's the first cut-off point. So the first objective, Element C, one is move your machine in it, riding it in a straight line, full length of the car park, and stopping and starting in the control position using both your brakes. The next exercise is you're going to be using riding the bike slowly and in a straight line. So slowly in a straight line. So how do you do that? What's the controls you're going to use for riding in a slow? What's the slow controls? Slow controls on a geared bike. What do you use? A, C, B. Well, if you're going to stop in a straight line, you're going to use A, C. Oh, A, C, B. You're going to use A, B, C, accelerator, brake, clutch. So you're going to use, for slow speed, your accelerator, your clutch, and your brake. Well done. What brake, Darren? Oh, Laughing Dog's got it. Rear brake. Little throttle. Yeah, feather the clutch, slip the clutch. So it's a throttle, clutch, back brake. Well done. Then you're going to have to look at the braking exercise. So where you get to stop at a given point. And, you know, it's where you talked about going over, going under, overshooting, undershooting. So how would you stop the bike in a straight line then? What's the most effective way of stopping the bike in a straight line? Most effective way of stopping in a straight line. 70% front, 30% back. Well done, Boynage. Are you a new one tonight, mate? I've not recognised that one. Any of you new followers tonight that are contributing, get that subscription on the channel, please. And because it does help. So subscribe to the channel and set a reminder on for next week's live feeds, because we've got a lot more planned. It really does help. Oh, you were at Eccles on Monday. Did you have John? Oh, with Nick. Well done. Good man. And you had a good day with Nick then. He looked after you. Yeah, use engine brake and closing throttle, the front, then the rear brake, spot on. Suzuki GSX 125, mate. He was really good, fantastic. That is what we like to hear. I hope the videos have helped. So yeah, starting and stopping in a well, you start braking exercise, couple of cones. Imagine you got a white line, and if you go over it, what happens? If you go under it, what happens? But front brake, back brake, clutch. And now, Boynage, what about if it's raining, mate? You're saying 70-30. What about if it's raining? How would it be different if it was raining? Well done. If it's raining, 50-50, because it can take statistically up to twice as long to stop in the rain. Now, what about then? Golden rule, ladies and gents. Where would we recommend not using your front brake? No, back on the road, you are not the oldest CBT person. My record is 86 years old. So you've got plenty of time. You're only a little pup. No front brake on a turn. We'd strongly recommend only using the front brake on a straight. We have a video of him on the channel, back on the road. John, yeah, he's about 87 now. But he did his CBT with us when he was 86. He might be 88 now, but he did his CBT with us when he was 86. Lovely chap. I'm interviewing him. Yeah, no front brake on bends. We'd strongly recommend leaving it alone. How do we use the front brake? It is the most powerful brake of the two. And the thing is, you don't want to be scared of it. Don't be scared of the front brake, because it can be your best friend. The problems are if you're using it incorrectly. So front and back together, progressively, get your percentages right, and you'll be absolutely fine. And the other thing with a front brake, how many fingers should you use with it? What do we recommend? How long does it normally take to do a CBT? I would say most people, Chris, will complete a CBT in a day. But don't worry if you don't complete it in a day. If it takes you a little bit longer, that's all right, because we're all different. We all learn in different ways. So don't get all stressed out and upset if you don't get through on the same day. It's not a problem. Four fingers, or as many as you can reach with. That's what we're after. As many as you can reach with. So once you're happy with the braking exercises, you're then going to move on to the gears. And for some reason, this is one of the, on a CBT, and we've got all these videos. I'm going to put them on. I'm going to put the links down below. But it's funny because people get a bit of a pickle about the gears. And, you know, they've just driven in a geared car, and they get to us and they get in a bit of a pickle. But no need to get in a pickle, because all it is coordination. You know how to change gears if you've done them on a car. You know how to change gears. It's just the coordination. So are we all okay with gears then? 1 to 2. How do you change gear? Go through all of that. Lots of questions on your CBT. How do you change gear, and try and link it into what you know, like your car driver? So we try and link everything in. But generally speaking, once you get the hang of it, a few goes of that, you're absolutely fine. So what are the golden rules with gears? Where do you not change gear? So where don't you change gears? You got a question, Darren? Where don't you change gears? Good, well done, Paul. We don't recommend changing gears on corners and bends. We recommend doing it on the straights. So always try and ride the bend at the correct speed in the correct gear. And that's all part of your forward planning. That said, we can all get it wrong, but if you had to brake on a bend, back brake. But we don't recommend braking on a bend. But if you had to brake on a bend, back brake. Now, with the gears as well, what gear do we recommend you traveling in when you're out and about? Hard question, that one. Gets you thinking. It's not a trick question. We'd recommend traveling in the highest possible gear for the speed. Well done, Darren. As high as possible, as comfortable for the engine, yes. And that's eco. That's eco riding. Better for your pocket, better for the bike. So we always recommend trying to travel in the highest possible gear for fuel. Good. Well done. Lots of good answers coming on there. Now then, what about this one? What should you be doing when you're changing down gears? So what's the golden rule we recommend with changing down gears? Yeah, well, mirrors before you slow down, definitely. But what about the controls of the bike, the control? So we're going to roll off the throttle, engine braking, brakes, well done. If you don't use your brakes, you could match a lower gear with a higher speed, and that can cause locking up. So we'd always recommend brakes. So off the accelerator, use the brakes, get the speed of the vehicle down, match a lower gear with a lower speed, a lot smoother. But also, as you say, laughing dog, brake light comes on, warns the vehicles behind. Some good answers coming out there, ladies and gents. Well done. What's next then? It is the figure of 8. So figure of 8, slow speed. Well done, Chris. Are you a new watcher tonight, mate? If you are, like the video, subscribe to the channel. So how many new people have we got on here tonight? If we got some new people on here tonight, please subscribe to the channel, because it does help. Back on the road. So if you're new on the channel tonight, subscribe to the channel, please. Every week we have live streams. Every week. So we're looking at slow speed figure of 8. So again, the throttle. Great, well done. Well, it's every week. Yeah, well done, every week. So set those reminders on. Yeah, rear brake, clutch throttle again on the figure of 8. Looking where you want to go. So important. And not looking at the cones or looking down. Look where you want to go. And it's possibly the first time you're even going to be thinking about counterweight. So who can tell me what they know about counterweight on a figure of 8? Anybody know what counterweight is on a figure of 8? Because that is very useful at times. Body over leaning bike. Yeah, so don't lean with the bike, lean against it. Not sort of physically trying to do anything about it. I always think you got, if you think of your rear end, your backside. Yeah, if you think of your backside, shift your cheek, your right cheek to the left of the seat. The other way, shift your left cheek to the right of the seat, and that generally tends to do the trick. Or yeah, lean in the opposite direction to what you want to go. So that can help with the figure of 8. That can help with you preventing you feeling going to fall over. Put your foot down. But also, biggest thing with the putting your foot down is clutch. Keep the clutch on the friction. And if you go around a figure of 8, you might get a bit tense. Bring the clutch in. Go left, bring the clutch in, foot down. So keep the clutch on the friction. The right hand one, you can let the clutch out, close the throttle, labor in the engine. So relax your shoulders, relax your arms, relax your hands and your wrists. Looking, that is really key, is to look where you want to go. Gareth Price, is that a new name? Is this your first time on the channel, mate? No, people don't fail a CBT. They just maybe need a little bit more training. We don't call it a fail. We don't call it a pass. We call it achieving a standard. Don't beat yourself up if you don't get through the CBT on the first day. Most people will get through the CBT on the first day, but some people don't. Everybody is different. But no, you do not fail a CBT. That is not what we do. We just invite you for some more training. So, again, anybody that is new on the channel, please subscribe. It does make us... Is this element D? No, this is element C, Chris, we're on now. But we've done A, we've done B. We're now on element C. We're coming on to element D shortly. But the beauty with this live stream is that if you've come in late, don't worry about it, because it's there on the channel. and you can watch it back. Gareth, great. You've done the CBT in Mod 1, waiting on Mod 2. Last week, I think it was Mod 2. So the live streams every week, we're doing all of it, but last week was the Mod 2. So play it back, and we've got a lot of Module 2 stuff on the channel. So yeah, figure of 8. What comes after the figure of 8 then is the emergency stop. And I have a fantastic video on this one, bringing the bike to a stop as short and in control as you can. ABC, it's the most popular, it's most tried and tested. ABC, off the throttle, A, front brake, back brake, progressively but firmly, clutch in, leave your gears alone. I have just stumbled across the stream, watched lots of your videos when preparing for my CBT and A2, got my A2 in December, and I've been riding my Ninja 4 ever since. Cheers. Thank you very much, commentator. Are you subscribed to the channel, mate? If you're not subscribed for the channel, please do so. It does help us make more. So let's think about that emergency stop. Then has to be control, obviously. What is the biggest contributor to the shortest distance on an emergency stop? And that is great. Cheers, commentator. And that Alton, I'm going to put the light on. Getting a little bit, that might be a bit better. So what is the biggest contributor to stopping the bike in the shortest possible distance? And the biggest contributor is your reaction time. The quicker you react and the quicker you will stop. That is a fact. How are you going to stop? Roll off the throttle, front brake, back brake, clutch in, that's your engine brake, and your third brake, leave the gears alone. Now, use your brakes progressively, get your braking percentages right, and you shouldn't be skidding. Okay, we're going to go on to skids now. Yes, Jason, we do post CBT training, bit of road training is not a problem. So think about skidding, and there's 3 causes of skidding in order: number 1, 2, and 3. So what's the biggest cause of skidding? If your wheels lock up, what is the biggest cause of skidding? Curry. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, listen, Rob, you're not wrong. So too heavy on the brakes. If the rear locks just release, yeah, we'll go on to that in a minute. You're right, absolutely right. User error. That's what we're after. The biggest cause of skidding is the rider, the person in control of the vehicle, and that could be a mixture of reasons. A clutch in before the brakes, it could be back brake before the front, harsh use of the brakes, getting the percentages wrong. So there's many reasons you can skid, but the biggest cause is you as the rider. What's the second cause of skidding then? The second cause of skidding is the bike. So tires, brakes, but it's mechanical. The third and the last cause of skidding is the road surface weather conditions. So if the road surface is wet and the weather's wet, then you shouldn't be skidding. You should just be riding according to that. ABS, anti-lock braking system, you can still skid, Dave. It's not a substitute to prevent skidding. You should still brake as normal, but anti-lock braking systems can prevent it, but you can still. Now, once you've stopped, you need to then think about yaw the hazard. Okay, yaw the hazard. So have a good look around. And if you want to stop quickly, react quicker. How can you reduce the likelihood then? How can you reduce the likelihood of not having to do an emergency stop? You can reduce the likelihood of doing an emergency stop by anticipating, thinking ahead. Well done, Rob. Planning ahead. What if this? What if that? What if this? Riding, change your position accordingly, change your speed accordingly. You can reduce the likelihood of stopping an emergency by doing those things. Yeah. Good evening, Ali. Trust you well, Ali. Hazard awareness. Fantastic. Good. So after the emergency stop, then you would then be moving on to rear observations. So mirrors and lifesavers. Mirrors being indirect, lifesavers being direct, looking over your shoulders, checking your blind spots. Mirrors nice and regularly. Yeah, you go through all of that. Mirrors before brakes, mirrors before signals, mirrors before changing your direction. So lots of mirrors. Lifesavers, checking your blind spots. So when you check your blind spots, changing lanes, overtaking, moving off, that type of thing. Now, Ali, you got your Mod 2 coming up, mate. Last week's live stream was Mod 2. Play it back. And lots of videos on here about Mod 2. Okay, and we've got your brother on Tuesday. Yeah. Got your brother, I've got him on Tuesday, I think it is. When we talk about emergency stop, I always envision someone chucking an anchor over their shoulder. Yeah, good. Yeah. So, interesting way of looking at it. All good, thanks. Hope you and the team are well. Can't wait to get my Mod 2 done. Yeah, we'll get that sorted, Ali. Not long to go. So mirror shoulders, very important. Don't go into an area that your eyes haven't looked in. And we get a lot of, so mirrors, shoulders, CBT, get cones out, do a demonstration, but it's an important one on a bike because of your vulnerability. So you get that all that done. And then what is it then? Simulated junctions left and right. OSM, PSL, 7 options of junction. A minor to major, left and right turn, stop and give way, there's 4. Minor to major, left and right, stop and give way, there's 4. Major to minor right turn, stop and give way, there's 2, that's 6. Major to minor left turn, that's number 7. So 7 options of a junction on a T-junction. 7 options of a junction on a T-junction. Minor to major, major to minor. The acronym you're going to use, again, tried and tested, is OSM PSL. So who can tell me what OSM and PSL is? Who can tell me what OSM PSL is? Observation. Signal, maneuver, position. Fantastic answers. I am impressed, ladies and gents. Well done. Observation, signal, maneuver, position, speed, look. What should your speed be on approach to junctions, and how do you judge your speed approaching junctions? What do you base your speed on? Well, that's all right, Chris. Have you done a CBT yet, mate? Or are you looking at booking one? Did you say you were looking at booking one? RS. Who's RS? You're new on here. Is that an RS? What was going to think? RS, the Escort, Ford Escort RS, or one of them. According to visibility on junction, yeah, it's all to do with what you can see, how far you can see, and be able to stop in what you can't see. So good, yeah, be able to stop in the distance you can see to be clear. But yeah, observations at junctions, it's all according to what you can see. Snap, Chris, relax, you'll be fine. Yeah, Chris, we get a lot of different trainees with, nerves and anxiety and whatever. But, you know, most training schools, mate, are there to help you. They're there to help you. So, yeah, just relax. So after the junctions, it is the dreaded U-turn. The last exercise in the CBT Element C is the U-turn. So U-turns, slow speed control. Combine it with observations. So slow speed control and observations. You know, the figure of 8, looking where you're going, the counterweight, all these things can aid you. Leave the front brake alone. There's no front brake on any slow speed control. But we use 7.5 meters for a U-turn. It's generous. It's a generous width of a U-turn. And then once you've done all that, and that can take, well, Element C for us. Brilliant, RS. Yeah, the thing is with the live streams, we cover everything. Yeah, so go enough if you watched them. And yeah, because as you can see, the people currently away here, they're just starting out on their journey. And all of us that are on the live streams, we've all got experience that we can pass on to these guys. So thank you very much, RS. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, mate, subscribe to the channel. And a Vifa 750, very nice bike. Very nice bike. I do love the Hondas. Oh, your initials are RS, but yeah, it's a good one. I like that. I do like the RS. It just reminds me of an RS, the Ford Escorts, Cosworths back in my younger days. Andrew Keaton, where is your school based? We are Andrew. Are you new on the channel tonight, mate? We have 3 schools. We are in Eccles. We are in Wigan. Eccles is Manchester. Wigan, and we are also in Northwich, so northwest based. If you're new on the channel, mate, subscribe away and get those reminders on for the live streams. We have live streams on every week. So every Friday I have a live stream, and even did one on a Tuesday night this week. They are all proven to be very popular. Carl Compton, hi. I had a 750, but it was the Kawasaki H2. Tell you what, they're rockets then. Whew. They are rockets. Are you new on the channel, Carl? Are you a new... have you been on here before? If you haven't, mate, show your support and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel and set your reminders for the next ones. Right, so Element C. Now, as I say, we get you on the bikes by about 9:30. We have a cut-off point on the yard about 1 o'clock. So 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. You're looking at about 3.5 hours to get Element C done. And that generally, I'd say 90% of the time is sufficient. And if you need more training at that point, then you would be invited back again. So, hey, I had a rally grifter. I had a photo. When I was about 12 somewhere on my blue rally grifter and my mod jacket, Arrington jacket and everything. I can't find the bloody picture. I don't know where it went over the years, but absolutely beautiful bike. I'll tell you what, now you can buy one of them on eBay. Get on eBay and you can buy a rally grifter. They're still going. Beautiful things. I wouldn't mind just getting one just for the for the memories, but fantastic bikes. Carl, so yeah, Carl, please subscribe to the channel then, mate, if you're new on it. Yeah. So 3.5 hours on the bike, and cut-off point 1 o'clock, and time for dinner, because you've been at it since 8 o'clock. So at that point, it would be time for dinner. Gareth, I have an old CBR 600 2004, 9,000 miles. That is a nice bike. Yeah, that's good. So where are you doing your test then, Gareth? Where are you doing your test? Yeah, well, that's Laughing Dog. A lot of people, so it's a mix. A lot of people do not buy a bike. They want to get the test done. A lot of people come to do the test. They've bought the bike. Yeah, everybody's got a different sort of incentive. But there's no right or wrong way of going about it. So Element D, then, that's your practical on-road training, Element D. So the subjects, and it's an open discussion, so it's a bit of Q&A, and it's where you know, just having a bit of dinner or something and just have some conversations. There's about 14 different subjects, and we tend to spend maximum of 5 minutes on each subject, maybe 3 or 4 minutes. But it's, as we said before, legal requirements, the need to understand the highway code, why we're more vulnerable as motorcyclists, conspicuity, the need to be clearly visible, why we need to pay attention to varying road surfaces, why we should pay attention to varying weather conditions, speed, the need to ride according to existing road traffic conditions, anticipation of other road users, hazard perception, attitude, the need to carry out rear observations. And during that, we would also show you a diagram of a roundabout, just so you know where you should be looking when you're exiting roundabouts. There's an area on road position. We've got 3 positions in the road, 1, 2, and 3. So a discussion on when you change, why you change. It's just really to get your thought processes going, find out the sort of level that you're at. Following distances, you'll have a discussion on following distances, and also a discussion on riding under the influence of drink and drugs. And that is before Element E, riding, practical on-road riding. So that is where you're up to before going on the road. So we're going to be getting you on the road. So if you start Element D 1-ish, 1:30, we certainly want to be getting you on the road by between 2 and 2:30, which means then you're looking at about a 4:30 finish. So we're going to go on to the road ride in a moment. Laughing Dog, I've seen a lot of people who failed their tests and they have brand new bikes at home gathering dust. A lot of people do that. Yeah, a lot of people. Stats going for your CBT. Stats, are you new to the channel? Stats. Have I seen that? Have you seen you up? Stats. I think you're new to the channel, mate. What I would certainly say, subscribe to the channel, first of all. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. Play back this. You've been watching the first live stream. I've got 2 or 3 live streams on CBT, so go back. But there's a lot of also, so you can play back this live stream, and I go through all the whole CBT. What I'd say is just relax. Yeah, just relax and enjoy it. Learn and contribute. What did I say at the beginning? Be prepared. Be organized. So make sure you take all your documents and everything. Get there on time. Don't be late. Yeah, subscribe to the channel, mate, and get watching loads of videos. Relax and enjoy it. You'll love it. And then let us know how you get on. I'm also going to borrow a bike, but have my own helmet and gloves and boots. How much you reckon it is? For the CBT, don't know. We charge £199. But that, we've got 3 schools, we've got excellent team instructors, we've got availability, good facilities, and so on. Thanks, taken on board. Yeah, just relax and enjoy it, mate. That's all. That's the biggest tip I'd give you. Gareth, you had your bike given to you, so you thought you better do your bike test. Fantastic. That's nice, isn't it? Getting a bike given to you. Josh had my CBT today at RJH Northwich. All instructors were ace. So you had Nick and you had Sylvia, and you would have also met Charlie and Dominic in the bookings. So Josh, fantastic, mate. If you're not subscribed to the channel, young man, subscribe to the channel, and it will help you going forwards, make you a safer, more confident rider. That's what I would say. So if anybody is on the channel that is new, what I just ask you is please do subscribe to the channel. It does help us spend more time making videos and also with the live streams, because it makes it all worthwhile. Right then, so the road ride. This is the bit that you've been building up all of your CBT Element A, B, C, D. And this is where you then get to going on the road with your instructor. And it's very, very important when you go on the road that you complete 2 hours. You hear all sorts of horror stories where people are not on the road for 2 hours. So make sure you're on the road for 2 hours minimum. And if you don't get 2 hours on the road on your CBT and you're being signed off, that training school is not offering you a good CBT, and they can get into trouble. So 2 hours minimum. You're looking at everyday stuff. So junctions, roundabouts, gradients, bends. You'll look at a hill start. You'll look at a emergency stop. You're looking at traffic lights and pedestrian crossings, but you do the U-turn and the emergency stop again on the road. So you'll have a bit of a roadside brief. But all you need to do is show your instructors that you're safe. Show them that you're safe. Show them that you're learning. Scott King, been riding my CB125F2 2020 model for a month now. First bike, and man, I bloody love it. Took me a while to get used to the wind at certain speed. Was scared at first, but used to it now. It only gets better, Scott. Only gets better. Are you new onto the channel tonight, mate? Is this your first time visiting the live stream? If it is, please subscribe to the channel and join us. Join us. Yes, it can take a little bit of getting used to. Doesn't take long. But that is a nice bike you have. It's what we use for CBTs. In Manchester, we've got a few of them. As well as Honda Groms, Suzuki GSXs, Kawasaki Z125s, but a few different ones. But the Honda CB125F is a fantastic bike. Yes, Chris, I do. Next year will be, for me, 50 years that I first started riding motorbikes. So next year in 2022, I will be celebrating when I first started riding a bike, 50 years. Gareth, yeah, CBT 130. Yeah, you're generally looking anywhere between 100 up to 200. Depends on where you are, what it's all about. But we are currently charging 199, which includes everything, and you get a very, very good, thorough CBT. All of our bikes are under 5 years old, well maintained. We have top-notch facilities and instructors and availability. And we've been doing it now for 18 years, coming on nearly for 19 years. So yes, road ride, 2 hours minimum, and radio contact with your instructor. So radio contact, one way. You cannot talk to him, he talks to you, and you will enjoy it. Now, when a new rider goes on the road for the first time, you're going to be a bit nervous again, but then it soon starts to relax. And I cannot tell you how, as a new rider, you will develop in that second hour. The second hour is crucial for a new rider. And when we hear of people coming to us and they've only had 20 minutes on the road, or they've had an hour on the road, it's absolutely appalling. So the last hour, you start to really enjoy it. And that's where you're really learning and putting into practice what you've been doing during the day. So a minimum of 2 hours. Show your instructor you're safe. Show the instructor that you're learning. We're not after test standard. You don't have to be test standard. You're going to make a few little mistakes. But as long as they're not serious, you will be fine. And so what? If the instructor says that you need to do a little bit more, then, take it. Take it, because we all learn at different paces. And your instructors know best. Your instructors are the ones with the experience. Alf Gamer, first time on the channel, mate. You can ask me as many questions as you like. All I ask in return is you subscribe to the channel and press that reminder button so that you are set up for the next live streams. We have live streams every week. Every week, live streams on a Friday. I might did one on Tuesday as well, so sometimes even 2. Yeah, so a good CBT, 8 till 4, 8 hours is a good CBT. 2 hours is not acceptable. 2 hours is not acceptable. You 2 hours on the road. So where's that all work out? The DVSA closed schools down for conducting poor CBTs. How old am I? Born in 1965. I was born in 1965. That's how old I am. Not quite there yet. I'm getting there. Now, once you show your instructor that you are safe, you then will be, any tips on a CBT? Enjoy it, Alf. Go back on the live streams. I've got a few live stream videos like this, and play this one back, because this is all about the CBT. Tonight's live stream is all about the CBT. But also on our channel, if you've not had a look, there's a playlist, CBT lessons. And we've filmed all of the CBT lessons from element A, B, C, D, and E. So watch them. Watch all those CBT things. Ask questions relating each one. I answer all where I can, all the questions. So fire those questions away on the videos. All the information's there. So that is for you. So yeah, so good. So don't overthink it. Yeah, don't overthink your CBT. Your instructors are there to help you. We want to help you. We want more riders on 2 wheels on the roads safely. It's all about road safety. So yeah, so you get complete your road ride. You'll then get back to your training center, and what we do then is sit you down and give you a bit of feedback, I suppose, on your ride and what you can do for future development. Because you're not going to be perfect. You'll be good enough to get your certificate, but then you'll be given some development needs, and then you'll be issued with your certificate, your DL196. When going round a roundabout, do I need to indicate off going straight on in left? Yes, you do. So going straight on at a roundabout in the left lane, once you passed the exit once you've passed committing to the exit before the one that you want, so after exit 1, if you're going straight on, indicate left to come off. But I have a fantastic video on roundabouts, and I'm going to go through all of the video and put links. It won't be tonight now, but I will do. Well, I think, Carl, when I stop ride, as long as I can walk and as long as I've got this up here, then I'm going to keep riding. And it is fair to say the older you get, the slower you get. So, and we're all different because you're going to get older. Some people are still very alert. But for me personally, as long as I can walk and as long as I'm okay in here, I'll carry on as long as I can. We conduct CBTs, Alf, in Eccles, Manchester, Wigan, Manchester, and Northwich, Cheshire. So we have 3 schools in the Northwest. So once you're issued with your CBT certificate, then you would keep it safe. Photocopy it or whatever, but if your insurance company want a copy, photocopy it and send it. You just keep that certificate at home in the drawer. You don't need to carry it on you. We notify the DVSA. So don't think about carrying it on you. Don't keep it in your pocket or in your wallet. Pop it in a drawer at home. All right. It lasts for 2 years. As I said before, if you lose it, you can only get one from the school that issued it, and there is a charge. So keep it somewhere at home, and it enables you then to ride at 16 a 50, at 17 a 125, and it enables you to ride no passenger, no motorway, and L plates front and back. Alf, got second CBT booked for Sunday. Any good advice? Is that your second? What have you been riding for 2 years, Alf, or are you just doing another one because you didn't get through on the first one? What's the history behind it? And what I'd say, anybody that comes in, we get a lot of people coming in, even a lot of girls, a lot of boys. And when you get that certificate, pat yourself on the back because it is an achievement. A lot of people would like to do it, but they don't. And you've done it. So think about that. You've done it. You've done well. Pat yourself on the back. It is a big achievement. And, you know, welcome then to the two-wheel club. The two-wheeled club. So we're coming up to then 1:52. That's pretty good going then, that 2 hours. It's longer. Don't want to go over 2 hours, but it's try to relax as much as you can. Get there early and remember your documents. Yes, as I said earlier, preparation, organisation, punctuality. What's that? POP. That's a good one. So I might use that. POP. Punctuality, organisation, planning. POP. Is that right? Punctuality, organisation, planning. POP. I like that. Failed the first one on not understanding the right of way, but have done a lot of research since then. Right, good. Yeah. Did you go on the road and didn't understand it, or was it in the classroom? But you can only and if you go back to the same school, they'll see that you've put the time into it. They'll see that you've put the time into it. On the road. So that's good then. So yeah, could you not just go back and do the road ride again, or have you had to go back through the whole CBT then? Because if somebody with us was they struggled on the road, we'd just invite them back and just have another couple of hours on the road. We wouldn't necessarily get them through the whole CBT. Don't forget your lunch and drinks. Yeah, especially in this heat, you need that brain food. You need to keep hydrated. You got to do the whole CBT again. Blimey. So we don't do that. So if you've done the whole CBT and you've gone on the road and then you're a bit unsuccessful, we just get you to come back. We might get you back to do an hour on the yard just to get you back onto the swing of it, but then a couple of hours on the road. But you wouldn't. But if that's what that might be the policy of that school. Don't know. Not saying that what they're doing is wrong, but that's not what we do. So we've got about 5 minutes. Then I think that's all of the CBT covered. I don't think I've forgotten anything, unless anybody can think of anything that I've forgotten. But what I will say to all of you again is thanks for joining me. I will stay on for another 5 minutes. I'm not going to disappear. What I would say is thanks for joining me. And any new viewers, please remember to press that subscribe button. It does help. It really does help. Like the video. Thanks for all of your comments. Any tips? Yeah, just listen to your instructor, mate. Listen to your instructor. I would like to do a full course, but my local centre doesn't offer one, so I'm looking to book something in the Northwest. Come to us. Speak to Charlie. He will give you a whole schedule of dates. You know, we've got 3 schools in the Northwest. As I said, I've got a lad staying. He's come over from Stockton-on-Tees. He stays in the local Premier Inn. Not a problem, Rob. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, so get yourself over to the Northwest. We can look after you. Have a great open day and a lovely weekend, Governor. Thank you, Dave. We will be putting photos, maybe the odd video or two on the social media over the next few days. See how it goes. I think it's going to be a warm one. Charlie was very good, sorted me out for July. He was. Charlie is very good. Yeah, Charlie is very good in the booking office. So give him a call. He can help you out. That is what he does, specifically bookings. But yeah, we are looking into July, August now for bookings. So pretty busy. So I think we're not far off then, ladies and gents. I will put links in to all of the videos that we've discussed. But it won't be tonight. It'll be over the next few days. Yeah, you're welcome, Alf. That is what the channel is for. The channel is for, you know, combining it with the lessons that you have at your local bike school. Combine it, but listen to your instructors wherever you're going. Use anything off of our channel that can help you, and you know, keep us all posted. Keep in touch. That's what we ask, and we like the subscribers. We like the comments. It's all good. YouTube, love it. We love it. I love the comments. A lot of comments tonight. A lot of new people on tonight. Get a guitar. I'll see what I can do. There is a guitar in the house somewhere. I don't know how to play it though. I think if I got the guitar and started playing it, I think me views would go down. I think people would unsubscribe. I think that's what would happen. No, I've had the Pan-European, the similar one. I've had instructors that have had the Kawasaki GTR. They're nice bikes. They don't make them new anymore. If they brought out a new Pan-European, I'd have another one of those. So I currently ride the Honda CBR 1000 GT, and I've just bought myself. I've got another one for teaching on. Is the Honda CB 500X. Beautiful. I'm going to do a full review on that and riding on it. It's a lovely bike. I'm not taking it out in the rain at the minute. I'm only going to take it out in the dry days. Good, well done. Right, so good positive feedback from everybody. So I'm going to be looking now then. I'm just going to let it go over the 2 hours. 2 hours on a Friday night. Whew, that's good going. Cheers, Martin. Thank you very much. And yeah, so I hope you all have a good weekend, and I hope you all achieve your goals on the training front up and down the country, wherever you are. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch up with you all again soon. Okay, so bye for now.